Hey, today we're going to go over the 3UZ to GT86 plug-and-play swap harness using the Link G4x Xtreme. We'll do the installation on where the ECU plugs into, how that looks, where the engine harness plugs into, how that looks. And before we get into all that, we're going to remove the other intake manifold I have on the car, remove the prototype harness that I have been running for the last 2 years, and probably do some general maintenance such as the starter and alternator, just because I've been having some issues there. And since the intake manifold will be off, it'll be nice and easy to do. So let's get started.
0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started. To get a hold of yourself.
I think what we'll start with is we'll get this back in the car and we'll make the modifications to the intake tube that we need to. Okay, there's my new intake done. I just have to add the T-map bung and then the PCB. When you buy one of our plug-and-play GT86 harnesses, this is more or less what it looks like. So we have the engine harness here, which plugs into the bulkhead, or not the bulkhead, but the 54 pin. We have the 8 pin here, starter, and this is for an additional CAN network that you can run. So if you wanted to do an IO expander, maybe a PDM, part of our drop down includes a dual wideband kit, and that is plug and play to our harness. So this is the ECU patch harness. These 2 amp connectors plug into the Link G4x Xtreme, and this side plugs into where the factory ECU would have plugged into. You can see this one is a little bit different than the one that's currently listed. We're going through a revision so we can get rid of the fuse box and just try and slim this down a little bit. So that T-map sensor goes into the intake tube before the throttle body. So that measures the air temperature and the pressure before the throttle body. The other Bosch sensor that we include, or suggest to include, is the map sensor. And for both of these sensors, we get the weldable bungs, as well as alternator patch harness. So,
Ladies and gentlemen.